Good morning, Fury Nation. 8:45 a.m. here, live in Summerside, PEI. Our U13AAA Fury are going to take on the Central Storm. Central Storm are 4-11-3 on the season, so hopefully our Fury can find a way to keep them in the bottom of the league here and come out with a big effort. Big challenge last night against the Mid-Isle Matrix, as we talked about at the end of that broadcast. It's great for our girls to play some strong competition. Not that we don't get it at home, but to face some new and different strong competition is good for us. And we saw a real strong Mid-Isle team last night who skated away with a 4-1 victory. They also beat the CFHA Storm yesterday night 2-1. So close games, but Mid-Isle was the team to beat yesterday. Zara Montefrisco back in the nets for the Fury today. The Harriman McLaughlin Kavanaugh line starts off. Here goes Kavanaugh. She's in off the face-off in the offensive zone. She's pushed off the puck, but gets it down in the corner. McLaughlin's now there to help. McLaughlin and Kavanaugh do battle in the corner. Puck comes up to the wall. Mid-Isle's going to skate it out. Broken up there nicely by Claire Atkinson at center. Chipped back forward. Lacasse is there to cover that. Lacasse. She spins, turns. That's offside. But didn't know if the linesman was going to catch that one. They did. So, 14:33 to go. Quick energy here on that first 27 seconds. And face-off will be outside the Fury blue line. Walsh, Padrones, and Bork out here now, along with Laundrie and Knight. Draw one by Central Storm. Storm player plays it up the wall, gets it to Walsh. Walsh finds Bork on the far side. That's broken up by the Storm. They're going to dump it deep in the corner. That's off the stick of Ev Laundrie. Laundrie now. She's behind the net. She's under some pressure. 2 forecheckers there from Mid-Isle, but Padrones steps in and takes that puck away. She goes rink wide to Bork. Bork now. She cuts to the middle. Puck gets the wall, so that's going to be offside, so they're going to have to wait. Oh. Ev Bork get caught up in a little bit of a gang tackle there at the blue line, and they all went sliding into the offensive zone. 14:04 to go here. Padrones in the face-off. Goes to Walsh. Walsh goes back to Laundrie. Laundrie's got it. She goes D-to-D over to Knight. Knight with it now. She goes off the wall to Walsh. Here goes Walsh. Walsh steps into the offensive zone. That's taken away by the Central Storm player. She goes up the wall towards her left winger. That's out of her reach. Back to Ev Laundrie. Laundrie sends it back into the corner. Here comes the Storm. Out of their reach. Here comes the Storm now over center ice into the offensive zone. Storm with it. They go towards the net and wide. Puck's now behind our net. Bit of a scramble. Comes up the middle. Nobody home for the Storm. Storm regroup at center. Their player falls. Bourgeois grabs that. She's up the wing. There goes Bourgeois. She gets it to Nelson. Nelson. She gets caught up in a collision there. Storm chipped that puck around Emily Bernard. Bourgeois back here to pick it up for the Fury in our zone. Bourgeois. She's going to wind up. Here goes Bourgeois. She's going to go wide. Gets it poked off her stick. Gets to Nelson. Nelson attempts to find Farron in the middle. Farron does battle for it at center. That goes to Lacasse. Lacasse sends that over towards Bernard. Bernard now. She'll chip it off the boards to Kate Nelson. Nelson grabs control. She sends that up. Broken up with a Storm player. A little back and forth battle here in the neutral zone. Puck gets to Bernard off the wall. Bernard. She fires that out but goes off the lines of skates and stays in. Here comes the Storm. Storm attempted to go back door, but it was broken up in the high slot by Ferrand. Here comes Ev Bork with it. Bork. She's under some pressure. There's 2 Storm players there trying to take it from her, but she's still got it. Bork. She's in a battle here. Now Harriman's going to go help her. Storm tried to go up the boards with it, and they can't. Maddie Kavanaugh has it. Kavanaugh spins both ways in the corner. She steps to the front. Shoots. Great shot by Kavanaugh. Rebound. The goalie's going to cover that before Harriman or Kavanaugh can put it in the net. 12:05 to go here, first period. Good start by the Fury. A little bit of back and forth in the neutral zone both ways. Heard a little bit of ping pong early as the girls get their legs going here. Face-off will be to the right of the Storm goalie. Harriman wins that face-off. It goes on the half wall towards Kavanaugh. Now, Storm get it down into their own corner. They rim it all the way around the boards. They attempt to clear it, but Atkinson holds. Atkinson is looking for Harriman there, went off her stick. Goes right to the Storm D. Picked up in the middle here by Harriman. Now Madison Kavanaugh's there too. Knight sends that up the wall towards Harriman. They're in a battle. Harriman chips it deep in the corner. Here we go. McLaughlin's in on the far side for the forecheck. Puck squirts away from the Storm D. Harriman breaks that up. Skips over McLaughlin's stick. Harriman on the back check. Storm player skates away with it. Here they come 3-on-2. They get to the center of the net. Shoot. Glove save by Zara Montefrisco. She's smartly going to cover up that puck. So, pretty good back and forth action here so far. A couple of good chances for the Fury in the offensive zone. Padrona is going to take this face off now. She wins that face off. She chips it up the wall to Lara Walsh. Walsh has it now. Walsh has Bork with her. She tries to send it. Broken up in the middle there by the Storm, but Padrona is going to intercept. Here she comes. But, oh, she had her pocket picked by the Storm player, and she comes back the other way. Good stick by Ev Landry there in the blue line to stand tall. Storm do hold the zone, send it down behind our net. Emily Bernard is there now. She has the puck. She's looking for an outlet. Nice job by Bernard not to throw that one into traffic. It's a nice pass at the center to Padronas. Padronas sends that rink wide for Bork. Here goes Ev Bork. Bork with the head of steam. She's got Walsh up front. She sends it. Rebound is there. Padrona shoots. Oh, just off the side of the net. The goalie and the D are all laying on the ice there. Couldn't quite put it home. Lacasse is going to hold the blue line now. The battle is there. Just inside the Storm blue line. Padrona steps in. She's winning the battle. Puck spurts out though. Off a skate. Nice job by Bernard to keep that alive. Storm do get it to center now. Attempts to go rink wide, but Emily Bernard was there in the back check. She's there. She's in a battle. Padrona's there. She knocks her player to the ground, takes the puck. Now, here goes Bernard. She's going to jump into the play with it. She can really skate. Here she goes. Emily Bernard. She's over the blue line. She gets wide. She spins. Fires that towards the front of the net. She had Kate Nelson driving the net there, and it was just out of her reach. Storm goalie's going to cover that up for a faceoff. Little Denny Savardian spinorama there by Emily Bernard as she threw that puck into the Storm crease. Ferrand, Nelson, and Bourgeois now, along with Atkinson and Landry. Draw one by the Storm. Their D swings back, sends it up the wall. Atkinson's going to hold that in. She sends it back into the corner. Storm D picks it up, goes behind the net. Bourgeois was there to break that up. Now it goes to Alexa Ferrand. Alexa Ferrand with the puck. She's in a battle in the corner. Bourgeois was there. Storm player skates away with it. Here comes the Storm. Broken up nicely by Claire Atkinson. Right back into the Storm zone they go. Puck comes around the boards. Ooh, we got a little bit of a pileup inside the Storm zone. Atkinson comes out with it. She sends it up the wall to Nelson. Nelson chips it nicely. Ferrand's going to get there. Nelson now. Nelson attempted to get that out to Bourgeois. Just fanned on the pass. Storm D recover it. They rim it up the boards, and Atkinson says, not today, folks. Sends it right back into the corner. Bourgeois with it now. She has that taken away from her. Here comes the Storm. Here go the Storm. They're right up the middle. This young lady can wheel. She's going to the outside. Atkinson's there, though, to keep her out of harm's way. She attempts to center. That's intercepted by Bourgeois. Here goes Bourgeois. She's going to send that up the wall into the skates of Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh retreats for it. She tries to find Harriman. Storm D falls. Harriman's under the forecheck now. Harriman steals it. She gets it out front to Kavanaugh. Oh, just through his skates. Almost. Puck comes back here to Landry. Landry steps over center. She's going to the head of steam. Fires that deep in the corner. Puck bounces off the net right in front. Harriman shoots. Rebound. Oh, just out of the reach of Kavanaugh. Couple of good chances here this shift for our Fury. Here come the Storm. This lady can also wheel. She's going wide. Landry steps up, break that up, and the back-checking Chloe McLaughlin was there to shut that down. McLaughlin now still in the corner doing battle. Two Storm players there with her. Storm come out with it. They attempt to walk. That's broken up by Landry. Landry goes to McLaughlin. McLaughlin sends it to Harriman. Oh, off of her skates, goes back towards the crease. Storm looking for a play. They work it out to the blue line. Kavanaugh cuts that off. McLaughlin now won't let that through. Then broken up in front of the net by Landry. Recovered by McLaughlin. McLaughlin spins away from the forechecker. Goes back up the wall to Landry. Bounces over her stick. Storm player steals. She's down to the corner. There's two Storm players out in front. Here comes The Storm still circling wide. She tries to find her D, but she throws it offside, which means the Storm will have to tag up. Ev Landry now with it. Here she goes. She has some time and space. She got Lara Walsh breaking at center. She gets it to Walsh. That went off a stick. Here goes Walsh. She gets there. Oh, just has that poked away by the Storm D. Nice play by that D. Padrones, she battles for it center. Right here in front of us now. Nice play by Bernard, just out of the reach of Bork, and the Storm come back the other way, but that's broken up at the blue line by Padrones. Furious end-to-end action here. 7 minutes left, first period. Puck goes off the wall. Anna Lacasse. She goes D to D. That's picked off by the Storm. The Storm now down the right-hand side, but Emily Bernard skates her player off the puck and takes the puck back. She sends it up the wall to Walsh. Walsh has Bork with her. She sends it. Broken up there, but Walsh is going to recover, and that's offside. Just barely offside, but still offside. Really good high-paced action here this morning. Fresh ice sure does help. Last night in a larger, warm arena next door by the third period, no flood. The ice was certainly very heavy, and it certainly had an impact. But fresh ice this morning and fresh legs, and we get some good high-paced hockey happening here. Puck goes into the Storm zone. Lara Walsh is there on the forecheck for the Fury. They're going to gather that puck up, step behind their own net. They reverse it back up the left-hand wall. Puck still there. Atkinson does a nice job. She holds it in, shoots off the Storm defender. Padrones, she sends it towards the front of the net. Broken up again by the Storm. Here they come. Storm defender attempts to get by Atkinson. She does. Stopped up nicely by Zara Montefrisco, standing tall back there. Here we go. Lara Walsh, she's out of the zone. She's got Perron with her. Intercepted by McDonald for the Storm. Puck taken away from her. McDonald recovers it, but Walsh steps in to cut her off. Here goes Claire Atkinson. She's got Bourgeois with her. She sends it to her. Just out of her reach, down into the corner. Storm rim it all the way around. And their left winger chips that out into the neutral zone. They're in a foot race for it. Sophie Knight's back to get that puck for the Fury. She does get it. She sends it towards the wing. That's intercepted by the mid-aisle. Mid-aisle player steps to the front of the net. Oh! That puck was labeled top corner. Zara Montefrisco flashes the leather and keeps us a 0-0 tie. That was a heck of a shot there by that young Storm player. And equally great save by Zara Montefrisco. Alexa Ferrand steps in on the faceoff. Draw one by the Storm. They try to go D to D. Squirts out into the neutral zone. That's going to be recovered here by Ferrand. Ferrand's got Nelson and Bourgeois there. Oh. There's a pile up at the blue line, and I feel that Elise Bourgeois got pushed offside there, but offside nonetheless. Kavanaugh, Harriman, McLaughlin back out here now with Bernard and Landry. Face off at the offside dot. Picked up by Chloe McLaughlin. Ev Landry's looking for someone. She tries to go rink wide. That goes off a skate. It's back into the corner. She pokes at it. Now Harriman comes down low with it. Now it gets back to Landry. Landry now. She's taken down. Harriman's there. Storm player steps out from the front of the net. Where's the rebound? It's under Bernard. The puck squirts all the way out of the blue line. And that'll be offside. Get some good forecheck pressure there by the Central Storm. Gave our team a bit of trouble in our own zone, but thankfully the puck gets out. We have a face-off at the offside dot. We get Atkinson and Lacasse out here on the blue line. Draw one by Harriman forward. Back into the mid-aisle zone. Kavanaugh's there as the first forechecker. Puck comes up the wall. Almost stolen there by Chloe McLaughlin. And here comes the Storm the other way. They go rink wide. And it's a breakaway almost. Shoots. Ooh, that was wide by a big margin. So that's good news. And we're going to take two for cross-checking here. That was a bit of a weak call. Chloe McLaughlin went in to fight for that puck, and the ref didn't like it. And she's going to sit her down for 2 minutes as soon as we can touch it. Chloe will touch it. That's going to be two for cross-checking. We saw a few cross-check penalties yesterday from our girls. That's interesting. So the ref is giving the penalty to Emily Harriman, but it was Chloe McLaughlin. Harriman puts her arms in the air like it wasn't me, and this time it actually wasn't. So, Padrona is in on the face-off. She wins it. That goes to Ev Bork. Bork straight down the ice. Bork now follows up her dump in. She's the first forechecker. Good job by Ev Bork. Mid-Isle sends it to the wall. Knight's going to step in and break that up. Padrona's breaks that up. Chips it towards Bork. Gets out in the neutral zone. Mid-Isle is going to go D to D right to the middle here. Then up to the left-hand side. Player circles back to the neutral zone. Cuts again. Steps into the Fury zone. Drops a pass for her teammate. They go back door. Oh, wow. Nice job by Sophie Knight to break that up in front of the net. That was a nice set three-way passing play by the looks of it. Laundrie grabs that puck, sends it back down the ice. That's a minute and 11 seconds left to go in this penalty kill. Walsh in now on the forecheck. Puck goes up the left-hand side. They go rink wide, does Mid-Isle. They grab the puck. They come back to the middle. They gain the Fury zone, broken up nicely by Lara Walsh. Here comes Elise Bourgeois. Bourgeois with it now. She cuts left and right. Now back to the left. Here she goes again. Now back to the right. Stick handles through 3 or 4 of them. Still has the puck. Bourgeois going 1-on-4 there for a little while and was winning. Mid-Isle now grabs the puck. And they go rink wide. Anna Lacasse is going to jump into the middle of the ice, cut that off. Here goes Lacasse. She sends it up the wall, intercepted by Mid-Isle. Mid-Isle forward gets across the blue line. Anna Lacasse steps up. Nice job by Anna. Puck squirts the Mid-Isle player who shoots wide. 21 seconds to go here in the penalty kill. Puck out to the blue line. Mid-Isle player plays it smartly back in the corner. They go cross crease, but it's intercepted by Lara Walsh. Walsh now. She sends it straight down the ice. That gets as far as the red line. They go D to D and then rink wide again. Anna Lacasse back here now. 2 seconds left in this penalty. Puck comes all the way around the wall. Gets to the Mid-Isle D, who holds it in. Back to even strength. Puck's in front of Mid-Isle. They go back door, broken up by Anna Lacasse as they had a player all alone on the backside. Nelson now. Almost at the blue line. Almost at a breakaway. She does force that play. Gets the puck down into the Mid-Isle zone. Nelson on the wall. She's in a battle. She comes out with it. She's hooked up, and the Mid-Isle player swoops in and takes the puck away. There goes Nelson. She's back in the zone. She sends it rink wide towards Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's there in the forecheck. Here we go to Atkinson. Atkinson chips it down low. Nelson's in there. Nelson behind the net, attempting to center. Is broken up again. Here she goes. Does center this time. Rebounds there. Kavanaugh's there. The puck is under the pile. The goalie doesn't have it yet. It's a scramble. And eventually the puck does get pushed into the Mid-Isle goalie. 1:14 to go. It's going to stay 0-0. So, Fury do a nice job there. Killed off a couple of penalties. And now we get a late first period face-off in the offensive zone to the left of the Mid-Isle goaltender. Face-off won by Mid-Isle down into the corner. Mid-Isle sends it up the wall. Now they come to the middle, and they are gone. 2-on-1. Claire Atkinson back there for the Fury does a great job of putting a stick on that to eliminate that shooting opportunity. Puck squirts into the corner. Atkinson and Harriman are there. Harriman sends it up the wall to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's going to skate it out. She's going to send that rink wide to McLaughlin. Broken up by Mid-Isle. McLaughlin recovers it. She sends it deep into the zone. That went off the Mid-Isle player. Could have been too many men on the ice. Mid-Isle sends it all the way up the ice, right back to the Fury D. Now Ev Bork is there. Bork's there. 35 seconds to go here in this period. Walsh. Puck's taken from her. They come the other way. Here comes Padronas off the bench. She grabs the puck. She cuts the middle. That's poked away from her. Laundrie now. Goes over to Padronas. Padronas has Walsh. Sends it. Here goes Walsh. Walsh makes a nice move at the blue line, and they're in there. 3-on-2. Walsh looking for some of the outlet too. She spins away from that Mid-Isle player who picks her pocket and pucks back out to center ice. Laundrie. Bernard. Bernard now. Bernard sends it up the wall. That's broken up there by the Mid-Isle player Compton. Back down here to Bernard. That'll do it. 0-0 after 15 minutes to play here That's a Credit Union Arena, Summerside, PEI. Little less of a deep freeze out there today. The wind's only blowing at about 75 miles an hour compared to the 150 yesterday. We literally had the power lines yesterday look like skipping ropes, and someone stands at one end of a rope and snaps their wrist, and that wave goes through the rope. The power lines here yesterday in PEI were blowing with force so much they look like skipping ropes. I think the opportunity for us in this upcoming period, we need to get some more shots on net, and we need to get to the net for those rebounds. I think one of the things that the coaches were chatting about last night after the game was we did a pretty good job of generating offense yesterday relative to shots on goal, but we didn't get there for those rebounds with the level of intensity that we needed to. And against these big, strong goaltenders, one of the ways we need to score is in that blue paint in around the front of the net. So our Fury forwards need to find a way to get us to the net with a little more energy, or as an old hockey player used to say, the forwards need to arrive late and in ill humor to bang some of those pucks into the net. Face off here now. That's Padrona as the face off. She wins it. That's back to Atkinson. It's taken from Axon. It goes back towards our zone. Padrona's recovered. She's going to cut to the middle. She's going to cut again. She sends it in the left-hand corner for Walsh. Walsh in there in the forecheck. Storm D attempt to come up the wall, and they do. They chip that off the wall, and here they come. They go rink wide. Flynn is gone with it here for the Storm. She's all alone. Oh. Pretty good job there by Anna Lacasse, I thought, on the back check to put some pressure on Flynn, but she finds a way to put that one in the net. 1-0 Storm with 29 seconds gone in the second period. So that is the opposite of the start we were hoping for. Let's see how our girls do to bounce back from that one. All right, here we go. Draw one by Ferrand. She pokes it straight through. Broken up by the Central Storm D. Gets to the left wing. They go rink wide to the right wing. Then they go down low. Somebody all alone out in front. Hopefully we see that in a second. Pass out front. Broken up by Montefrisco. Here comes Nelson with it. Nelson, nice job. Goes rink wide to Bourgeois. Bourgeois now. Bourgeois got that puck. She's alone. Here we go. Elise Bourgeois cuts the net. Shoots. Great save by the mid-aisle goalie. Nelson now does battle. 1-on-3 in the corner with Nelson. She gets it towards Ferrand. Poked away from her. Ferrand now wins the battle in the corner. Nelson's there to help. She sends it to the front of the net. Off a skate. Mid-aisle is going to come the other way. There comes mid-aisle. They're over center. They get wide. This girl Compton can really skate. Sophie Knight does a nice job, keeps her into the corner. She still has the puck though. She attempts to send it to the front of the net. That's broken up in front by Landry. Landry is going to go to Nelson. Nelson tries to center. That's broken up there by the Storm player. One-timer from the corner. Big save by Zara Montefrisco. Landry spins back the other way. She's in behind the Fury net. Spins again. Sends it up the wall towards Bourgeois. Bourgeois now. Elise is there. She's doing battle. Landry's there to help. Puck comes back to Landry. She's going to go rink wide to Nelson. Nelson's going to send it to Bork. Nice pass. Here she goes. Down the right-hand side. Bourgeois shoots. Nice save by the mid-aisle goalie. So, 13:02 left in the second period. 1-0 for the Storm. Lots of time left here. Emily Harriman's line is out here. That's McLaughlin and Kavanaugh, Lacasse and Bernard on the blue line. See if we can generate some offense here. Harriman wins that faceoff back to Lacasse. She's going to hold it in the zone, and then she's going to shoot it. She does. Tipped in front. No, blocked in front as Harriman got cross-checked from behind. Puck goes to Lacasse. Lacasse now. She's going to send it rink wide to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's got Padronas there. Puck gets tangled up at center. Wild Storm D grabs it, sends it to our zone and back. And D to D. Puck goes to the Storm, but they're broken up by McLaughlin. She gets it to Padronas. Padronas now sends that towards the front of that. Rebound is there. Ooh, that one fooled the goalie. Rebound is wide open. Storm were able to clear that up before we could. Storm players gone rink wide here. Partial break. Nice job by Emily Bernard to close the gap there and keep her on the outside. Puck goes right back to the middle. Puck is in front. Now it's in the corner. McLaughlin grabs it. McLaughlin, she beats the first player. She sends it out to Madison Kavanaugh at center. Kavanaugh now. Kavanaugh's got Padronas with her. Kavanaugh ships it into the corner. She's going to go for a change along with McLaughlin. Puck goes over there. Lara Walsh back to the blue line. Atkinson shoots. Ooh, big shot. Rebound. Oh! We did everything but put the puck in the net. Storm player falls down, and now the ref is going to call tripping on Lara Walsh. Parents on the Fury side shaking their heads in disbelief on that one. This is 2 calls in a row. The player ended up in the box did not appear to be the one that was guilty of the infraction. So, face-off will come all the way back down into our zone. 11:39 to go. Hopefully we can kill this penalty. Keep it a 1-0 game. Atkinson gets that puck, tries to clear and doesn't. Montefrisco steers that shot into the corner nicely. Knight is there. Knight is doing battle. Here comes Bork. Bork sends it to the middle. Picked up by Knight. Knight gets to the Walsh. Walsh sends it all the way down the ice. That's a good start. Storm attempt to break it up the right-hand side. That's off a stick. Going to be held in there by Knight. Nice job by Sophie Knight. She holds the puck in there at the offensive blue line. Here comes the Storm. Storm player, Smith, goes wide, but Claire Atkinson's there to shut her down. Puck comes loose. Here comes Claire Atkinson. Atkinson. She's got some room. Shoots right on the net. And that bounced quite far away. Big, juicy rebound. Here comes the Storm player again. Storm player comes the other way. That's McDonald. She is knocked down by Bourgeois on the back check. No call. Walsh tries to clear. Held in at the line by the Storm. Storm sent it down in here to the corner. Storm then go rink wide in front of the net. Puck's there and broken up by Claire Atkinson. She gets it all the way down into the Storm zone. Storm player at the puck. Under some pressure from Bourgeois. She falls. Bourgeois got it. Bourgeois still has it. Oh, taken back from her. Puck is up the wall. Held in. Landry now. Landry sends it down into the corner. Bourgeois is there. Bourgeois. She's knocked down. No call. Storm D grabs that puck and continues to skate. Here she comes. 15 seconds to go in the power play for the Storm. They fire that puck. That's going to be icing. They fire that puck as an outlet pass and doesn't quite get there. So with 9 seconds left to go, face-off will come back into the Storm zone. 9:48 to go, second period. Kavanaugh's going to take that face-off with McLaughlin on her right. Lacasse and Atkinson on the blue line. Draw one by the Storm. Blocked in front by Kavanaugh. Puck's going to stay in their zone. Nice job by Maddie. Storm recover. Penalty's now over. We're back to even strength. Storm go from the D to the left wing. Left winger tries to send it rink wide. Intercepted by Atkinson. Atkinson finds Harriman in the middle. Harriman's up the middle. Gets away from her a little bit. Here comes the Storm again over center. Broken up nicely by Chloe McLaughlin at center. McLaughlin gives it to Kavanaugh. Poked away from her. We're in a battle here on the wall. Puck goes up the wall again. Storm player is back in there. Harriman's on the forecheck. Puck gets past player Atkinson, but Lacasse is going to get there first. She's going to send that up the wall, or attempt to, blocked by the Storm. Kavanaugh's there to help now. Here comes Harriman with it. Poked off of her stick. Kavanaugh's now going to try to recover that puck. We're in a battle. Puck gets out to the blue line here. Nobody home. Storm fire. Blocked in front. Puck is loose. Steered into the corner by Harriman. That gets to McLaughlin. Now Lacasse is there. Lacasse with it. She's under the pressure from 2 forecheckers. She gets it up the wall. McLaughlin under pressure. Storm player holds it in. Gets a shot right on net. Montefrisco is going to cover that up. 8:31 left. Second period. Fury managed to kill another penalty. Pretty good back and forth action, and the girls have had some really good chances. Mid-Isle goalies made some good saves. Face-off won by Padrones. Bork steps in to help. That gets to Sophie Knight, sends it to the blue line, not out. Here goes Landry. Landry goes to Padrones. Padrones is Bork with her. She goes wide. She's got Walsh in front. Padrones cuts to the front, shoots. Saved by the Mid-Isle goalie. Face-off will be left of the Mid-Isle goaltender. Lara Walsh with it now. She goes back to the blue line to Knight. Knight shoots. Puck's in front, tipped by Walsh. It's there, it's in the skates. It's still free. Mid-Isle D swarm in around their goalie to protect that puck, who covers it up. 8:02 to go. Back to that earlier comment that I made. We need to arrive at the front of the net in ill humor and drive a little harder in these scrambles, because that's where a lot of the goals are going to be scored, in that around that blue paint. Face-off won by Padrones. Back to Laundry in the blue line. Laundry now. She rips it. Just wide of the net. Lara Walsh is there in the forecheck. Does a good job of separating her player from the puck. Down the wall. Padrones out front towards Bork. Poke checked away from her. Mid-Isle comes out the other way with the head of steam. They go to the middle. That's intercepted there nicely by Lara Walsh. Walsh now. She sends it up to Padrones. Padrones attempted to get that to the Bork, who was on the left-hand side. Just didn't get through. Puck's down low here. Back into our zone. Knight's back there for the Fury. Here goes Knight. She's up the wall towards Walsh. Bounces away from her before she can corral it. Mid-Isle grabs the puck. Fires on net. Zara Montefrisco is going to hang on to that one. Basically at the halfway point of the game, 1-0. Pretty good balanced action here going both ways. Zara Montefrisco done another very solid effort in here for us today so far. Puck goes to the wall. Gets to Ferrand. Off of her stick. Ferrand gets it to center ice. She's got Bourgeois with her. She has that poked away from her. Gets to the Mid-Isle D. Mid-Isle D now beats the first player. Beats the second player. Here they come. 3-on-3. They chip it in the corner. Bernard's there for the Fury. She goes stick on stick. Puck gets to the front of the net. Lacasse stops that. She comes there. That Lacasse sends it up the middle. She was looking for Ferrand. That's been touched, so it will not be icing. Mid-Isle D circles behind her own net. Kate Nelson there to put some pressure on her. They get it up the wall. That's going to be held in by Bernard, but now recovered by Mid-Isle. Here goes Compton for Mid-Isle. She's gone wide. She's around Lacasse, and she shoots wide. Wow, can she skate? Puck is down here in the corner, up to the blue line now for Mid-Isle. Not Mid-Isle, Central Storm. Central Storm shoots right on Montefrisco. Nice save. So the young lady for Central Storm showing us how she can turn the Jets on there. She went by there at about 100 miles an hour, stepped in front and had a shot, thankfully wide of the net, but Zara did a nice job. She was out challenging at the top of the blue paint. Harriman on the face-off now. Harriman, that draw goes back to the Mid-Isle D. McLaughlin's up high. Kavanaugh's there too. Mid-Isle D go D to D, then down in the corner. Knight's there. Knight and Kavanaugh are there. Harriman's there too. Puck gets to the middle. McLaughlin gets there. Just poked away from her. It's still in the zone. Puck gets down low in front of the Fury net. McLaughlin has it now on the sidewall. She sends it up the wall. Harriman's going to grab that. She's got a bit of time and space. Here she comes. She got Kavanaugh with her. She sends it over towards Kavanaugh. Intercepted by Mid-Isle. Puck does get banged in behind the Mid-Isle net. Central Storm net, I should say. Haven't had my full morning coffee yet. Puck's deck down low. Kavanaugh's there for it. Kavanaugh has it. Kavanaugh and McLaughlin are doing battle in behind the net. Storm player is sitting on the puck. The Storm now come away with it. Harriman's there in the forecheck. She breaks that up. Sends it back down low. McLaughlin's going to get there. McLaughlin has it. She tries to send it to the front of that. That's taken away from her. Harriman on the back check. She's going to stop that Storm player with a little bit of support from Claire Atkinson, but the puck does get through. And the player Compton for Central Storm goes bar down on a defensive zone scramble where the puck squirted to her like a Christmas present right there in the top of the circle. And she made no mistake, bar down. 2-0, 5:03 to go here. One of those shifts where the puck just didn't bounce our way and ended up going right in our net. Padrona's out here on the face-off along with Bork and Walsh. Bernard and Laundrie on the D. Laundrie with it now. Laundrie goes to Bernard. Bernard off of her skates. Gets back to Laundrie. Laundrie has it. She spins away from the pressure. She has a look. She goes rink wide to Walsh. Walsh. She sends it up to Padronas. Padronas had to stop and wait for that one as it went off a stick. Mid-aisle grabs it. Central Storm grab it, I mean to say. And puck is in behind the Fury zone. Here goes Emily Bernard to Walsh. Walsh has Bork at center ice. Bork chips that into the zone. She'll get in there on the forecheck. Puck is there into the skates of the linesperson. Back down low. Padronas and Bork both battling for it. Now gets the Padronas in front of the net. Central Storm are going to take a penalty for hooking. Alexis and Eber going towards the net hard. And the only way to stop them was to take a penalty. So nice effort there by the girls to draw that penalty. Faceoff will come back into the Central Storm zone. Left to their goaltender. Alexa Ferron is going to take that faceoff. She's got Bourgeois and Nelson with her. Atkinson and Lacasse will be on the blue line in this shift. Draw one by Ferron nicely. Goes to Nelson who gets it to Atkinson. Atkinson sends that in the corner for Bourgeois. Bourgeois grabs that puck. She cycles up the wall. Mid-Al D picks her pocket, sends it back the other way. Ferron now. Ferron sends it back into the corner. Central Storm attempt to clear, and they do. All the way down the ice. 1:39 to go in the penalty kill here for Mid-Isle. Here comes Atkinson. She chips it to the middle. That's out of the reach of everybody. That gets back to the Storm D. Now back to Laundrie. Laundrie sends it up the left-hand side. That goes off of Kate Nelson's shin pads. Kicks over to the Central Storm D, who send it back into the corner. There's a foot race for it here. Lacasse comes out with the puck in the corner. She leaves it there for Atkinson. Atkinson attempts to send that long distance to Bourgeois, but fans on it. She recovers. Sends it to Alexa Ferron, who does send it to Bourgeois. Bourgeois tried to cut to the middle, stopped up there by the Storm player. Fury making changes, have to wait till everyone gets on side. Here goes Atkinson. Atkinson steps the middle, shoots. She's knocked down. Puck gets cleared out of the zone, back to Knight. Knight's at center ice with it now. Knight goes rink wide to Bourgeois. Bourgeois grabs it. She circles back into our zone. She's going to spin off the wall, go to Harriman. Harriman grabs that puck, chips it in the corner. Her and Kavanaugh are going to chase that down now. Kavanaugh gets there first. Nice job by Madison Kavanaugh. She's out with it. Oh, wraparound. Harriman shoots. Rebound. Kavanaugh's got it now in the corner. Two good chances there. One by Kavanaugh, one by Harriman. Goalie keeps them both out. Harriman with the puck now. She's going to wind it up. She's looking for a little bit of room. She drops it back to Laundrie. Laundrie goes rink wide now to Knight. Knight looks for Harriman just behind her. Down into the corner. That's going to be icing. 7 seconds to go in the Fury power play. A couple of good chances on that last flurry of action and around the net. Madison Kavanaugh did a great job to win that race to the puck. Stepped out from behind the net. Nice wraparound attempt. The goalie stopped it. Harriman on the rebound. Goalie stopped that one too. A little snake bit in the last couple of games here. Harriman on the face-off now. Draw one by Harriman into the skates. The officials kicks back to the Storm defender. Knight had it. Has her pocket picked. Player for Central Storm grabs that puck. Sends it to the center. McLaughlin sends it down the wall. Just back to Laundrie. Then out to McLaughlin. Broken up there by Mid-Isle. Laundrie now. Laundrie sends it up the wall. Kavanaugh's there for it. Kavanaugh under some pressure. Storm players doing a good job on the forecheck here. Storm come out with the puck. They center it. Broken up in front by Sophie Knight. Now 3 Fury come out. Nice pass by Kavanaugh to Chloe McLaughlin. Here goes McLaughlin. She's all alone. Sent it back to the front of the net. Oh my God, the rebound is there. Bounced over Emily's stick. No goal, and the Central Storm come back the other way, 3-on-2. End-to-end action here. Credit Union Place. Nice job on the back check by Anna Lacasse to shut that down. Puck goes off the wall. It's into the skates of the Storm defender. She sends it back down low into the Fury zone. Kavanaugh's there. Kavanaugh and Bernard are there now. Storm player attempts to shoot from the blue line. Fans on it. Bernard, she's got a head of steam. Here she goes. She works it all the way down into the offensive zone. Recovered by the Central Storm back-checking center. Storm now. They break it out. They go rink wide. They cut to the middle. Stopped up there by Lacasse. 46 seconds to go here, second period. Back-to-back action. End-to-end action, I should say. Walsh now chips it in deep. Picked up there by Padrones. Walsh and Padrones on the left side wall. Back to the blue line. Shot from the blue line right on the net. Rebounds there. Shoots. Ed Bork. Oh my goodness. Another point-blank chance. There's a nice shot from the blue line there by Emily Bernard. Ev Bork was all over the rebound, and the Storm goalie was able to shut the door. So we've done everything but score here this morning. Padron has to take this face off with 30 seconds left in the period. He has Walsh and Bork with her. Knight and Atkinson on the blue line. Alexis ties her play off. Lara Walsh is there. It's all alone. She shoots. Oh, off the shoulder of the Storm goalie. Point blank. Storm take that puck, send it up and out of the zone. Claire Atkinson recovers it there and chips it off the linesperson. Oh. There's an interesting one. Puck is supposed to go into the zone, hits the linesperson's skates, puts us offside, and then they blow it offside. So, officials doing a good job this morning, though. Can't complain about their effort today. 12 seconds to go. Farrell on the face-off. That's one over to the boards. Atkinson steps up. She chips it towards Bourgeois. Bourgeois steals it. Here it is. Hope she shoots quick. Shoots! Glove save, and that is with less than a second left. The Fury seem to be building a bit of momentum here. Things are starting to look a little more energetic from the Fury side of the ice here as this period's gone along. Well, that'll do it. 2-0 after 2 for the Central Storm. A couple of unlucky bounces that resulted in chances for the Storm that they've buried, but otherwise, people always say hockey is a game of mistakes and/or bounces. And this is a situation where the Fury have played really well and have had lots of chances to tie this game and haven't been able to find a way. We're a little bit snake bitten, but the Storm have not had a lot of chances, but when they have had them, they've made good on them. So, good news, 15 minutes left, so lots of time to score 2 goals. Coach Nelson over there, a little bit of an inspirational message to the girls. And take this opportunity to say a happy belated birthday to Manon Bourgeois. Hope all is well back in Moncton, Manon, that you had a great day yesterday. All right, the line of Ferrand, Bourgeois, and Kate Nelson are going to kick off the third for the Fury. Laundrie and Bernard on the blue line. Ferrand wins the draw, gets it to Nelson. Nelson chips it back just out of the reach of Bernard, so it's into our zone. Bernard in the corner now. Bernard sends it back up the wall towards Nelson. That bounces over her stick. Ferrand, great job. She breaks that up at the blue line. Bourgeois on the breakaway. Here we go. Birthday goal for Mom, maybe. Yes! Really nice play at the blue line by Ferrand to knock that puck into the neutral zone. Bourgeois cuts across for the breakaway and makes no mistakes. 2-1. 18 seconds into the third period. That's the way to start. Have ourselves a hockey game here. There we go, a long distance birthday present for Manon from Elise. They're on the face-off now. That one gets squirts over to Nelson. Bourgeois picks it up again. She's another breakaway. Can we do it twice? Oh, rebound. Ferran's there for it. It's in her skates. Bourgeois now. Yes! 2-2. So I think for the rest of the broadcast, we're only going to talk about Manon's birthday because I've mentioned it twice. We scored 2 goals in 30 seconds. Girls are celebrating. Here we go. If that doesn't put some energy in the legs of our Fury players, I don't know what will. Here we go, 2-2. Emily Harriman, Madison Cavanaugh, and Chloe McLaughlin up front with Atkinson and Lacasse on the blue line now. Draw one by mid-aisle, not mid-aisle, Central Storm. Back to their D. Central Storm steps in. Claire Atkinson keeps her to the outside. She shoots. Great save by Zara Montefrisco. Here comes Atkinson and Cavanaugh battling down low. They shoot. Try to get it out. The puck was stolen there by Central Storm player Compton, who had a nice point-blank chance. Glove save by Zara Montefrisco. So a fantastic start for our Fury here in the third period as they get 2 goals in 30 seconds. See if we can build on that momentum. Draw one by the Storm. Gets back to the blue line. Cavanaugh's there. She's going to kick it out. She does. Harriman's got it now. She's got McLaughlin with her. Here goes Harriman. She's got a chance. She drives the net. Shoots. Glove save by the Storm goalie. Nice job by Madison Cavanaugh to win the battle on the boards. Chip that puck up there to Emily, who had a partial break. Storm goalie made no mistake with the glove. Face-off will be here to her right side. Padrones, Walsh, and Bork now. Padrones wins that draw, gets it to Walsh. Walsh gets it to Knight. Knight shoots from the blue line. It's in front. Lara Walsh is there. She chips at it. Walsh again sends it towards the front of the net. That goes off a shin pad in behind the net. Bork is there. Puck gets the blue line and out. Ev Landry breaks that up though nicely at center. Over to Lara Walsh. Walsh now. Walsh sends it deep into the zone. Bork's over there. Bork and Padrones, they force the players to retreat the other way. Padrones behind the net now in a battle with the Storm player. Padrones comes out with it, sends it to the front of the net. Nobody home. Central Storm player grabs it. Here they come 3-on-2. 3-on-2 here for the Storm. They attempt to split the D and do. What a save by Montefrisco. The rebound cleared away from Sophie Knight where they could bang it in the empty net. Here comes Bork the other way. Nice outlet pass by Walsh. Bork, she has that poked off of her stick. Storm sent it all the way down the ice. Arm is up for icing, but it won't get there. Third period snow having an impact just like yesterday. Here comes Padrones. Padrones looks wide for Walsh. It's into her skates. She recovers it. Here we go again. Walsh beats the first player. She beats the second player. It's under some pressure now. She gets knocked to the ice. Central Storm player comes away with it. In behind her own net. Got to get back in the forecheck trail here, girls. We're watching them skate. Here she comes. Compton now for the Storm. She curls, sends it ring wide. Broken up in front nicely. Ferran with a head of steam. Ferran gets the puck out of the zone. Broken up on a nice play there by the Storm D. Ferran recovers here in front of the bench. Inside the blue line. Storm send it rink wide. Pick it up. They're going to go back the other way now. They cut to the middle. A couple of nifty moves and they're into our zone. Long distance shot broken up in front of our net. That's going to go to the Storm forechecker. Storm player grabs it, shoots it off the wall, gets it to Bernard. Here we go again. Elise Bourgeois with Ferran. She beats the first player. Could we have a hat trick here, ladies and gentlemen? Rink wide goes to Ferran. Oh. Nice centering attempt by Elise. A bouncing puck just out of the reach of Alexa. The goalie covers that. 11:48 to go here. Harriman line with Cavanaugh and McLaughlin back out. Atkinson and Knight. Want to go back to that last play. Sophie Knight saved a goal. Puck was laying there in our crease, and she swooped in and knocked it away before their player could put it in the net. Face-off. Bit of a scrum off the face-off dot. Puck is down low. McLaughlin's there in the forecheck. Harriman now in the forecheck. Held in by Atkinson. She gets it down low in front. But now Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh puts some pressure on the Storm player. They're trying to break it out. Kavanaugh and Harriman are there. They force them back into their zone. Storm D goes behind her own net. She goes D to D. Broken up right to McLaughlin. McLaughlin shoots. Rebound. Oh! Kicks right out to the blue line. Held in by Knight. Nice job by Knight. Sends it all the way back in. Madison Kavanaugh's in there hard on the forecheck. She forces the Storm D to retreat. They send it back up the wall. Knight's there. Nice job by Knight. Now McLaughlin with her. Knight and McLaughlin. Kavanaugh, nifty little move. Gets it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin shoots just wide. Down low. Here we go up the wall. Atkinson's there. She's going to keep that in. She walks the line nicely. She shoots that in the corner. Madison Kavanaugh with it now on the half wall. Kavanaugh spins. Still has it. Kavanaugh has it. Under some pressure there. McLaughlin and Kavanaugh there together. McLaughlin comes out with it. She feeds Harriman in front. Broken up by the Storm defender. Harriman goes in the corner now. She knocks two players to the ground. McLaughlin comes out with the puck. McLaughlin and Harriman are there. Harriman now with it. Storm D goes in behind the net. We are going to get a penalty here, unfortunately. I'm not sure for what. Something behind the play. Storm gained the zone. So in the scrum on the wall, referee's going to call head contact against Chloe McLaughlin. I don't know about that one, but in the old days, we used to say you're down a goal when you get off the boat and playing in PEI. Maybe this is one of those scenarios. It's a third period situation, tie game, and the hometown officials choosing to give us a 4-minute head contact penalty. So not a great development for the Fury. Draw one nicely by Walsh. That gets to Landry. Landry sends it all the way down the ice. Great start to this penalty kill. We have been a very effective penalty kill team so far this year. Hopefully that continues here. Here's McDonald for the Storm now. She skates out of her zone, goes rink wide up the left-hand side. They gain the Fury zone. Tried to center, all tied up by Lara Walsh. They weren't able to catch that pass. Puck goes to Bernard. Bernard goes off the wall to the ref. The ref chips that to Eb Bork, and Eb Bork sends it down the ice. 3:20 to go in this 4-minute to McLaughlin. Storm send it all the way down the ice, picked up here by Emily Bernard. Bernard stops up. She sends it right back down the ice. Broken up at the blue line. Goes D to D here for the Storm. Storm player works it up the wall. That's broken up by Lacasse all the way down the ice. Nope, stopped up here at the blue line. Puck comes up the right-hand side. They work it to the middle. That's broken up by Atkinson. Atkinson sends that all the way back to the Storm zone. 2:54 to go in this penalty kill. Bourgeois in on the forecheck along with Padrones. They intercept. Padrones comes up with it, shoots it back in the corner. Bourgeois is going to chase now. Bourgeois up the wall. Held in by Atkinson. Down low to Bourgeois. Here we go. Bourgeois cuts to the front of the net. Nice move. Here it is. Goal! Hat trick! So I'd like to get a list of all the parents' birthdays from the team so we can talk about them, as that's a hat trick birthday present for Elise Bourgeois for Manon. Serge tries to throw his hat, not noticing that there is netting there, so the hat bounces off the netting right back to Dad. Well, that's a great start to the penalty kill. 2:32 to go here in the penalty to Chloe McLaughlin. McLaughlin taking 4 minutes for being too strong. And we're doing a pretty good job of killing so far. Alexa Ferrand, Kate Nelson out here now with Knight and Landry. Draw one by Ferrand. Knight's going to get to it. She's going to fire that off the wall. Back into the center zone. Picked up by the Storm player who cuts niftily into the center. Chips it in the corner. Nelson's there to help too. And Landry. Nelson's going to get to that puck. Nelson's in a battle. Up the wall. Gets there to the blue line. Storm have it at the blue line. They're working down the wall. Broken up nicely by Sophie Knight in the corner. Alexa Ferrand with it behind her own net. She spins back the other way. She shoots it off the wall towards Nelson. Storm attempt to center it, and they do. Oh no. Just a bad bounce. The puck went off a shin pad in front of the net and went straight up, almost like a pitching wedge in golf, straight up in the air and fell down into the back of the net. So we are tied here. 3-3 with 8:13 to go. Penalty kill is over. Even with that goal, I feel that the Fury have some momentum here. So let's see if we can capitalize. Draw one by Harriman, back to Bernard. Bernard gets there. She grabs that puck. Chips it up the wall towards Kavanaugh. Here comes Kavanaugh on the forecheck. Was broken up with a Storm defender. Lacasse sends it up the wall to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, she's attempting to chip it out and does. She's going to get that puck to Harriman. Harriman's got McLaughlin wide, sends it. Just out of her reach. McLaughlin gets to it though. Nice job by Lacasse to hold the blue line. Now the Storm are going to step out, but it's going to go all the way back to Emily Bernard. Bernard now. She's up the left-hand side of the wall. Good job by Kavanaugh to get that puck through. Gets to the Storm D. Kavanaugh and Harriman are there. They're both chasing. Harriman, Kavanaugh, Storm player, steps behind her own net. Now she spins back the other way. Nice forecheck there by Maddie and M. Storm go rink wide. Lacasse is going to be there to shut that down. And she does. Puck's in behind our net. Bernard now with it. Bernard, she's got a little bit of room. She steps out of the zone. She's going to keep skating with it. She moves it over to the rink wide to Chloe McLaughlin. McLaughlin dumps it towards the front of the net. Emily Harriman's in there in the forecheck. Storm defender gets it up to the right-hand side. They're going to go rink wide again. Off a stick into the corner of the Fury zone. Sharp angle shot off the side of the net. Bork's going to gather that up, and she's going to come with a head of steam out of the zone. She gets that out to Walsh. Here goes Walsh. Gets Padrones with her. 6:47 to go, third period. Storms grab that puck and go the other way, 3-on-2. Nice job by Alexis there to back check and break up that play. Storm dump it deep in the corner. Sophie Knight's there for it. Here goes Knight. Knight grabs that puck. She spins back under pressure the other way. 1-on-2. She gets it up the wall to Bork. Bork now. Storm player is able to hold the zone. Padrones in behind doing battle. Storm player continues to have it. She works it out to the blue line. Here's a shot from the blue line. Great save by Zara Montefrisco. Storm chip it down low. Cycling pretty good here for the Storm. Storm have that puck. They fire it in front of the net. Broken up nicely there by Claire Atkinson. Puck's back to the Storm blue line again. And the Storm shoot. Another one. Rebound. Big rebound. We got a goal mill scramble. It is under Zara Montefrisco. Defense does a nice job of blocking everyone out there. 5:56 to go. Looking at the scoreboard. 3-3 up there. 3-3 tie, third period. Storm are not going to roll over and die in this one. They continue to press. Alexa Ferrand is going to take this face off. Draw one by the Storm back to the blue line. They work it down the half wall. Back down into the corner again. Storm players there behind the net. She comes out the left-hand side now this time. Nice job by Elise to get back in and break up that play in front of our net. Storm continue to have the puck. They send it around the boards. Kate Nelson's going to go ahead and try and steal it back for the team. Storm player Compton continues to hold the puck. She goes to her partner behind the net. They now go back to the blue line. Storm player winds and shoots. Broken up in front by Alexa Ferrand. Ferrand's got Bourgeois. He sends it. Oh! Almost. Storm go for a change. Fury going to regroup. Landry, Nelson to Ferrand. Ferrand, here she comes into the blue offensive zone. Over the blue line. Down into the corner. Ferrand's going to go for a change. Bernard's going to grab that puck. She shoots it in front. That's blocked on a set of shin pads. Storm players score to the zone. Emily Harriman off the bench breaks that up at center. Storm recover though. They get it deep into the Fury zone. 4 minutes, 45 seconds to go here. Lacasse retrieves the puck. Up the wall to Bourgeois. Bourgeois sends it back towards Lacasse. They're going to get it towards the zone. Not quite out. Now it goes to Harriman. Harriman's got Bourgeois with her. She sends that down the ice out of the reach of Bourgeois. That'll be icing. 4:33 to go. 4:32 to go. Third period. Well, you don't get better unless you play against good competition. And one of the best things about this 4-game set here in PEI is we're playing 4 really good PEI teams. So it's a really good test for our girls, and get used to competing this hard can only make you better. Face off back to the left of Zara Montefrisco. Draw one by Harriman. Down the corner, Atkinson comes away with it. That's poked away from her by the Storm. Storm working up to the blue line. Kavanaugh's going to get there to try and block that. Ooh, that shot made it all the way through. Just wide. McLaughlin grabs it on the board. She spins away from the forechecker. She drops it back to Atkinson. Atkinson under some pressure from the forechecker as well. McLaughlin, Atkinson are there. It gets to the blue line. Shot by the Storm wide of the Fury net. Storm player comes up with it in the far corner. That's broken up there by the Cass. Harriman tries to send that back up the wall. She does. She gets it to Madison Kavanaugh off the wall out of her reach. Shot from the blue line, tipped in front. Zara's seen enough. She's going to cover that puck. 3:52 to go. Storm players doing a real good job on the forecheck here. Our Fury group are having a tough time breaking the puck out right now under pretty heavy pressure from the PEI team. Alexis Padrona steps into the face-off circle. She wins it. Off the wall to Alexis. Here we go. Should say off the wall to Lara Walsh, then back to Alexis. Here goes Padronas again. Padronas, she works it wide. She still has it. She centers. Off the goalie's stick in front. Out of the reach of Ev Bork. Laundry with it now in the center ice zone. She's under a lot of pressure. Stolen from here. Here comes the Storm player. Oh, great save by Zara Montefrisco. That one was labeled for the far top corner. Laundry turns. She sends it up the wall. Walsh is going to have time to break that one out. Here we go. We got Walsh, Bork, and Padronas. 3-on-2. Walsh goes wide. Cuts the middle. Still has it. Ooh. Big body check. Nice shot. Oh, wow. Big body check there by the Storm player. Walsh reversed it on her. Then grabbed the puck and fired a hard wrister on the net. Storm goalie able to shut that down. 3:03 left. That was a nice play there by Lara Walsh. Standing up to the much bigger Storm player and knocking her to the ground and then getting a great wrist shot away. Ferrand on the face-off now for the Fury. Ferrand wins that back to the blue line. Bernard grabs that and shoots it. Broken up in front by the Storm. Storm now attempt to skate out of the zone. Broken up nicely by Bernard at the offensive blue line. Nelson sent that in front towards Bourgeois. Poked away from her. Lacasse is going to recover that at center. She chips it to Bourgeois. Bourgeois with it. Here we go. Bourgeois. She cuts the front of the net again and shoots. Backhand shot. Nice save. Nice job by Anna Lacasse on the blue line there to hold the Storm in there. The Fury playing with 5D today as Sam Boyard is under the weather. Girls doing a good job of covering that extra ice. Back to Bernard from the blue line. Here's Bernard. Shoots. Oh, tipped in front. Just over the net. Ferrand with it on the half wall. She sends it down in the corner towards Bourgeois. Ferrand's there. Puck spurts all the way to the blue line. Storm player grabs it and ices it. That'll do it. 2:20. Good shift there by the Ferrand line. Some good chances. That last one, a hard shot from the blue line, get tipped in front off one of the Storm players. Just went over the top right corner of the net. Face off will be back here to the left of the Storm goalie. Harriman, McLaughlin, Kavanaugh, Knight, and Atkinson. Harriman wins that face off. Gets it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets it back to Atkinson. Atkinson DDD to Knight. Knight shoots it. Tipped in front. Goes wide. Kavanaugh's first on the puck. She has it. Here goes Kavanaugh. Spins away from her player. Gets it in front to Harriman. Oh my goodness, off the post. Nice play by Madison Kavanaugh. Down low now to McLaughlin. McLaughlin has it. She steps out. She sends it to the front. Kavanaugh's got it. She shoots. No rebound on that one. 1:56 to go. Wow. Great play by Madison Kavanaugh in front to Emily Harriman, who rang it off the post. Stays tied 3-3. Fans have paid for the full seat today, but they're only using the front edge. Face off won by Mid-Isle. Not Mid-Isle, the Storm. Brain cramp here today. I only want to talk about Mid-Isle for some reason. The Storm get it to center. Atkinson breaks that up. Storm recover at center again. Atkinson's over there now. Storm gain the zone. They try to drop it. Chloe McLaughlin's there to pick that off. McLaughlin spins that back up the boards to the D. Storm D shoots it. It's in front. It's in a set of skates. Steered to the corner by Zara Montefrisco. Recovered by McLaughlin behind the net. Here's Atkinson. Atkinson sends that out towards the blue line. Storm player is going to attempt to hold it and does. Scramble here. Maddie Kavanaugh's there. She chips it out. Picked up by McLaughlin. McLaughlin's going to send it to Harriman. Here she goes. Harriman gains the zone. She's all alone. 1-on-5. She spins up. She gets knocked over. That's going to be offside here in a second. Emily hadn't get up yet. 1:05 to go. Third period. So, girls have showed a lot of resilience today, battling back from a 2-0 deficit. And here we are, 3-3 with 1:05 to go. Padrona's out there. Bork and Walsh. Bernard and Landry. Off the face-off, that puck gets recovered by the Storm. Broken up by Landry. Landry's going to go over and keep Flynn to the outside. Landry, Flynn centers it. Puck is there. Shoots straight up in the air again. Gloved away by Lara Walsh, I believe that was in front of the net. Puck's on the wall. Padrona's there in a battle. Two Storm players in there against her. Puck gets out to Bork. There goes Bork. No, poked away from her, but we do. Oh, no, we don't clear the zone. And we still don't clear the zone. This is not good, folks. 36 seconds to go. We got to clear that zone. Padronas has the puck. She sends it to Walsh. Walsh recovers. She is going to settle that down and go rink wide. Gets it out of the zone. 24 seconds to go here. Storm sent it deep. Referee's tangled up with Evan Landry. Landry now. Landry's going to spin away from that forechecker. Landry has the puck stolen for her, but the two Storm players skate into each other. Here goes Ev Bork. 8 seconds to go here. Puck's at center ice. Gets back into our zone for Landry. Landry goes wide for Walsh. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Walsh is going to run out of sand in the hourglass. And I don't know if we do shootouts or whether we finish this in a tie. It appears that that is going to do it. So, Fury skate to their second tie and their fourth tie in the last 5 games. 3-3, very resilient effort. Great job by Elise Bourgeois with a hat trick here on a Sunday morning in Summerside. We'll wait here to see who our players of the game are. So we continue to see lots of parity across the Maritimes. Coaching staff going to shake hands. See the CFHA Storm are lining up over there in the corner waiting for their game. So we have the Source for Sports Atlantic Hockey Group players of the game here. Alexa Ferrand, player of the game for the Fury. Alexa had a good game, set up a couple of those goals by Elise, worked hard both ends of the ice. Number 3, Smith for the Central Storm. So we are back here this afternoon, I believe at 2:30. So hopefully you can join us again. Thanks for listening.